Jake Morrison saw the old man struggling. Pouring rain, broken wheelchair, middle of the street, cars honking. Nobody stopped. Everyone too busy, too important, too rushed. Jake pulled over, lifted the man, fixed the wheelchair, drove him home. Thank you, son. What's your name? Jake Morrison. Just glad I could help. What do you do, Jake? I'm a mechanic, single dad, making ends meet. The old man smiled. I see. Well, Jake Morrison, mechanic, single dad. Thank you. I won't forget this. The next day, Jake's phone rang. The old man's voice. Jake, there's someone who needs your help. Her name is Rebecca, and she's about to lose everything. Jake Morrison, 42 years old, single father to 12-year-old son Connor, owned a small auto repair shop in a working-class neighborhood. The old man was soaked, frustrated, scared. My wheelchair, the motor stopped. I can't move. I've been here 20 minutes. Nobody stops. I'll help you. Let me get you to safety. Jake lifted the man. Not easy, but Jake was strong, always had been, and carried him to the sidewalk. Then went back for the wheelchair. He examined it quickly. Electrical short. Water got in. I can fix this temporarily. Get you home. You'll need a proper repair tomorrow. You know wheelchairs. I know motors, all motors. This is just a motor. Jake worked fast, 10 minutes. Bypassed the short, got it running. There, that'll get you home. But get it to a shop tomorrow. This is temporary. The old man stared at him. You stopped, when nobody else would. Why? Because you needed help. That's reason enough. Morrison's garage. His father had built it 40 years ago. Jake inherited it when his dad died. Kept it running. Barely profitable. But honest work. What's your name, son? Jake Morrison. What do you do, Jake Morrison? I'm a mechanic, own a small shop. Morrison's garage. And I'm a single dad. My son Connor is 12. The old man smiled, knowing smile, like he saw something Jake didn't reveal. I see. Well, Jake Morrison, mechanic, single dad. Thank you. I won't forget this. My name is Thomas Reed. Nice to meet you, Mr. Reed. Can I drive you home? Make sure you get there safely? I'd appreciate that. Jake drove Thomas to an upscale neighborhood. Big houses, gated community, very different from Jake's side of town. You live here? Jake asked, surprised. Jake was good at his job, really good. Could diagnose any engine problem by sound. Fix anything. From classic cars to modern imports. He had the touch. I do. Retired now. But I worked hard to get here. Just like you're working hard. For your son. How do you know I'm working hard? Because you stopped, in the rain, when nobody else would. That tells me everything about who you are. Hard worker, good man, good father. Jake helped Thomas inside. Made sure he was settled, safe, comfortable. Thank you again, Jake. Here, take this. Thomas handed him a business card. Old, worn, but elegant. Thomas Reed, Reed Technologies, CEO, retired. Jake's eyes widened. You're Thomas Reed? The Thomas Reed? Built Reed Technologies from nothing? You're a legend in manufacturing. Was a legend. I'm retired now. My granddaughter runs the company, but yes, that's me. Why didn't you say something? I would have. Would have what? Treated me differently? That's exactly why I didn't say. You treated me like a human, not a name, not money, just a person who needed help. That's rare, especially these days. But nobody knew Jake's real story, his past, what he'd been before the garage. Well, you're welcome, anytime. I mean it, Jake. If you ever need anything, call me. I owe you. You don't owe me anything. I helped because it was right, not for payback. Thomas smiled. I know. That's exactly why I will pay it back. People like you deserve good things, Jake. Remember that. Jake drove home, confused, but good confused. He'd helped someone. That was enough. The next morning, his phone rang. Unknown number. Jake Morrison? Speaking. This is Thomas Reed. From last night, I need to ask you a favor. Of course, what do you need? Before his wife died, before Connor, before everything changed. Not for me, for my granddaughter, Rebecca. She's in trouble. Her job, her company, everything. She needs help, specific help, engineering help. And I think you're the man for the job. Mr. Reed, I'm a mechanic. I fix cars. I don't know anything about... Jake, I know who you are, really are. I did some research last night. You're not just a mechanic. You're an MIT graduate. Mechanical engineering. Top of your class. You worked for Tesla, then SpaceX. Lead engineer. You designed revolutionary engine components. Then you disappeared. Came back here. Took over your father's garage. Why? Jake was silent, his past exposed. How did you? I have resources and curiosity. You left a brilliant career. Why? Jake sighed. My wife, cancer. Diagnosed when Connor was 3. I quit SpaceX, came home, took care of her, took care of Connor. She died when he was 6. I stayed, ran the garage, raised my son. That's the story. You gave up everything for family. I didn't give up anything. I chose what mattered. Connor, my wife, family. The rest was just career. That's admirable, but Jake, you're wasting your talent. Fixing old Hondas. You could be designing the future. That Tuesday evening, Jake was driving home from work. Rain pouring. Late November. Cold, dark. I'm happy fixing old Hondas and raising my son. That's enough. What if I told you Rebecca needs your specific expertise, and it would only take 2 days? Would you help? For me? For the man you helped last night? Jake hesitated. What does she need? Her company is losing a major contract. Manufacturing defect. Engine component failure. $20 million contract. If she can't fix it in 2 days, she loses everything. The company, her job, everything. But the problem is complex. Engineering problem. Your kind of problem. Why doesn't she hire an engineering firm? She did, 3 of them. None can solve it. But you can. I know you can. Will you try? Please? Jake thought about Connor. His shop, his life, simple, stable, safe. But he also thought about Thomas, in the rain, stuck, needing help. Okay, I'll try. 2 days, that's all I can spare. Connor needs me home. 2 days is all we need. Thank you, Jake. Rebecca will call you in 1 hour. She doesn't know about you yet. I'm telling her now. He saw the old man, wheelchair stuck, middle of a busy intersection, cars honking, nobody helping. Does she know you looked into my background, my past? No, and I won't tell her unless you want me to. You can be just Jake Morrison, mechanic, who happens to be very good at solving problems. I'd prefer that. I left that life behind. I don't need to revisit it. Understood. But Jake, you're not just a mechanic. You're brilliant. Don't forget that. Even if you choose to hide it. Jake pulled over immediately, ran into the rain. Sir, are you okay? 1 hour later, Rebecca Reed called. Rebecca met him at the entrance. 34 years old, sharp, professional, stressed, exhausted. Mr. Morrison, thank you for coming. Jake, please show me the problem. Rebecca led him to the manufacturing floor, showed him the failed components, test results, engineering reports. Jake examined everything, silent, focused, thinking. The engineers watched him, skeptical. Who's this guy? A mechanic? What's he going to find that we didn't? Jake ignored them, studied the components, the machinery, the process. After 2 hours, he found it. There, the problem, the cooling system. The timing is off by 0.03 seconds. That's causing microfractures during the hardening process. Invisible to standard testing, but catastrophic under stress. The lead engineer scoffed. That's impossible. The cooling system is automated. Precise to 0.01 seconds. It can't be off. Mr. Morrison, this is Rebecca Reed. My grandfather said you might be able to help me with an engineering problem. It is off. Your automation software has a rounding error in the temperature conversion algorithm, Celsius to Fahrenheit. It's losing precision, 0.03 seconds. Every cycle. That's incredibly specific. How do you even know that? Jake looked at him. Because I wrote similar code years ago for SpaceX. I've seen this exact error before. Different application, same root cause. Rounding error in conversion. Rebecca stared. You worked for SpaceX as what? Lead engineer, propulsion systems. But that was a long time ago, different life. The engineers were stunned. You're that Jake Morrison? The one who designed the Raptor cooling optimization? That's legendary work. What are you doing as a mechanic? Raising my son, living my life. That's more important than engines. Rebecca was processing. So you can fix this? The rounding error? Yes. Recalibrate the software. Adjust the algorithm, add precision. It'll take 6 hours, maybe less. Do it, please, whatever you need. Call me Jake. And yes, he mentioned something. Manufacturing defect, engine component? Jake worked through the night. Rebecca stayed, watching, learning, impressed. You really gave this up? This brilliance? For a garage? I gave it up for my son, my wife, my family. The garage is just work. Family is life. There's a difference. My grandfather said you helped him last night. In the rain, fixed his wheelchair. I did. He needed help. He also said you had no idea who he was, that you just helped because it was right. That's true. That's rare. Most people help because they want something back. You didn't. I don't help for payback. I help because people need help. That's enough. Rebecca was quiet. Then, my grandfather talks about you like you're a hero. He's right. Yes, we manufacture precision engine parts for aerospace clients. One batch failed quality testing. We can't figure out why. If we don't fix it in 2 days, we lose the contract. $20 million. And probably the company. I've hired 3 engineering firms. Nobody can solve it. I'm not a hero. I'm just a dad doing my best. You're more than that. You're brilliant, kind, honorable. You're everything I wish more people were. Jake looked at her, saw something, loneliness, stress, pressure, carrying everything alone. You okay, really? Rebecca's face crumpled. Just a second, then recovered. I'm fine, just stressed. This contract, this company, it's my grandfather's legacy. I can't lose it. You won't. We'll fix this, together. They worked side by side, 6 hours, recalibrating, testing, perfecting. At 2 a.m., it was done. The components tested perfectly. Problem solved. Rebecca cried. Relief, joy, gratitude. You did it. You saved us. Saved me. Thank you. You're welcome. Now get some sleep. You look exhausted. And your grandfather thinks I can. I'm a mechanic. I fix cars. I am, but happy. First time in months. Thank you, Jake, really. Jake went home. Connor was asleep. Jake tucked him in, kissed his forehead. This was what mattered. The next morning, Rebecca called. Jake, the client tested the new components. Perfect scores. They're keeping the contract. You saved the company. I can't thank you enough. I'm glad it worked. You deserve success. You work hard. Jake, I want to hire you, full-time. Chief engineer, name your salary. You're wasting your talent at the garage. I appreciate that, but no, I have a life. A son, a routine. I'm happy. What if I offered flexibility? Work from home? Set your own hours? Be there for Connor? Jake paused. Why do you want me so badly? Because you're brilliant. Because you see what others miss. Because you're honest, honorable, kind. I need people like you. The company needs people like you. Rebecca, I'll consult on specific problems, but I won't be full-time. Connor comes first, always. He says you're good at solving impossible problems. That's what I need. Someone who sees what others miss. Can you come to the plant? Today? I'll pay you whatever you want. Okay, consulting. I'll take it. Thank you. Over the next months, Jake consulted for Reed Technologies. Solved impossible problems, earned respect, earned Rebecca's trust. And something else grew. Between them, slowly, carefully, respect became friendship. Friendship became more. Rebecca visited the garage one Saturday. Brought coffee, watched Jake work. You really love this, don't you? The garage, the hands-on work. I do. It's honest, tangible. I fix something. It works. Simple, clear, satisfying. But you could be designing rocket engines, changing the world. I am changing the world. One car at a time, one customer at a time. That matters too. Rebecca smiled. You're right, it does. I'm sorry I implied otherwise. Connor came out from the back office. Dad, who's this? I don't need payment. Your grandfather helped me see something last night. I'm returning the favor. I'll come. This afternoon. But I have to pick up my son at 3. So I can only work until then. This is Rebecca. She's a friend. From work. Connor studied her. Are you Dad's girlfriend? Rebecca blushed. Jake laughed nervously. Connor, that's not... Because Dad needs a girlfriend. He's been alone too long. It's sad. Connor. Rebecca laughed. Your son is very direct. He gets that from his mother. I'm sorry. Don't be. He's right. You have been alone too long. So have I. Maybe we should fix that. Jake stared. Are you asking me out? I am. Dinner this Friday, if you're interested. That's fine. Anything helps. Thank you. I'm interested. Very interested. But Rebecca, I'm a mechanic. You're a CEO. Your world, my world, they're very different. So, you're brilliant, kind, honorable. You saved my company. You helped my grandfather. You're raising an amazing son. Why wouldn't I want that? Because I chose this life. The garage, the simple life. I'm not going back to engineering full-time. This is who I am. I know, and I love who you are, not who you could be. Who you are right now. Is that okay? Jake smiled. That's more than okay. Friday, dinner. Yes. Jake arrived at Reed Technologies. Huge facility. Hundreds of employees. Millions in equipment. Jake and Rebecca dated for a year. Carefully, honestly, building trust. At the garage, where they'd first really connected. Connor helping. Rebecca Reed, you came into my life because I helped your grandfather. But you stayed because you saw me. Really saw me. Not the engineer I was. Not the CEO you wanted me to be. But the mechanic. The dad. The man. I love you. Will you marry me? Build a life with Connor and me? Rebecca cried. Yes, I love you too. The real you. The mechanic who's brilliant. The dad who's amazing. The man who's honorable. Yes, forever, yes. Connor cheered. Finally, now I get a mom again. They married 6 months later. Small ceremony, family, friends. Garage friends and corporate executives mixing. Different worlds. One celebration. In her vows, Rebecca said, Jake, you helped a stranger in the rain. My grandfather. That kindness changed everything. You didn't know who he was. Didn't care. You just helped. That's who you are. Helper, fixer, protector. I'm honored to be your wife, to be Connor's stepmom, to build this life with you. Jake's vows. Rebecca, I left engineering because I chose family. When my wife died, I chose to stay for Connor. I thought that meant giving up ambition, but you showed me I didn't give up anything. I just redirected. Family first, but also purpose. You let me be both. Engineer when needed, mechanic always, dad forever. Thank you for seeing all of me and loving all of me. Connor insisted on vows too. Rebecca, thank you for making dad happy, for loving him, for loving me. Mom would like you. I know she would. You're not replacing her, but you're here. And that's good. I love you. Marriage was good, really good. Rebecca balanced corporate life and family. Jake balanced garage and consulting. They complemented each other. Her strategic thinking, his problem solving, her ambition, his groundedness. Connor loved Rebecca. She's smart and nice, and she doesn't treat me like a kid. I like her, Dad. 3 years into marriage, Rebecca pitched something big. Jake, I want to expand Reed Technologies, add automotive division, high-performance engines, electric conversions, custom work. I want you to lead it. Rebecca, I have the garage. Keep the garage. This would be separate, but connected. Morrison Performance Division, part of Reed Technologies, but yours, your vision, your leadership. Why? Why automotive? That's not Reed's specialty. Because it's yours and you're brilliant at it. And I want to build something together. Not just marriage, but legacy. For Connor. For us. Jake thought. This was different. Not giving up the garage, expanding it. With resources, support, Rebecca's backing. What about Connor? He needs me present. He'll be part of it. Summer internships, learning the business. From both of us. This is family business. Together. Jake smiled. Okay, let's build it. Together. Morrison Performance Division launched 2 years later. High-end engine work. Electric conversions. Custom performance builds. I like her too, buddy. A lot. Jake ran it from the garage, expanded. Hired technicians, taught them. Built a team. Connor, now 20, worked their summers. Learning, growing, thriving. Dad, this is amazing. You built this. From nothing. Not from nothing. From your grandfather's garage and Rebecca's support and your mom's memory. All of it together. Rebecca's company thrived. Morrison Performance became the crown jewel. Profitable, innovative, respected. Thomas Reed, now 92, visited often. Jake, that day in the rain, I was testing you. What? I wasn't really stuck. The wheelchair worked. I stopped it, on purpose, to see who would help. 23 cars passed. You stopped. That told me everything. You tested me? Why? Because I was looking for someone. For Rebecca. Someone with character, honor, kindness. You passed. And look what it became. Everything. Are you going to marry her? Jake laughed. You sneaky old man. I should be mad. But I'm not. Because you're right, it became everything. 10 years after that rainy night, Jake stood at the garage. Now Morrison Performance Headquarters. 50 employees. Cutting-edge technology. Success beyond imagination. Connor, now 27, was lead engineer, following his father's footsteps. Both of them. Rebecca, now 49, ran Reed Technologies. Billion-dollar company. But came home every night. To Jake. To family. To what mattered. We did it, Rebecca said. Built something real together. We did. Because I stopped in the rain. Because you saw past the mechanic. Because Connor believed in us. All of it. Do you ever regret it? Leaving SpaceX? The rockets? The glory? Never. This is better. Family, business, purpose, love, all of it. This is what I was meant to build. Maybe, if she'll have me, if you're okay with it. I'm okay with it. Mom would want you to be happy. You've been sad too long. Jake's eyes filled. When did you get so wise? I've been watching you, Dad. You're always taking care of everyone. But nobody takes care of you. Rebecca does. She makes you smile. Really smile. I like that. 18 months after they met, Jake proposed. Not elaborate. Perfect. 20 years after the rainy night, Thomas Reed passed away. 97 years old. Peacefully, surrounded by family. Dad, we just hit $5 billion in revenue. Morrison Performance? Your garage? Your dream? $5 billion. Jake laughed. Your grandfather's garage. I just kept it alive. You made it thrive. We made it thrive. Together. You taught me everything. Engineering, integrity, kindness, all of it. Connor had his own family, 3 kids, Jake and Rebecca's grandchildren. They gathered every Sunday. Morrison family tradition, at the original garage, still standing, still operational, restored, preserved. Why do we keep this old garage? Jake's granddaughter asked, age 10, curious. Because this is where it started, where your great-grandfather built something with his hands, where I learned to fix cars, where I chose family over rockets, where your grandmother first saw me, really saw me. This garage is our foundation. We never forget foundations. Even though you're rich now, you could have a fancy building. We have fancy buildings, 50 of them, across the world. But this is home. This matters more than fancy. At his funeral, he left letters. For Jake, for Rebecca, for Connor. Jake's letter. Jake, that night in the rain changed everything. You stopped when others didn't. You helped when others couldn't be bothered. That kindness saved my granddaughter, saved my company, saved my legacy. But more than that, it showed me that good men still exist. Men who help without expectation, who choose family over glory, who build with integrity. You are that man. Thank you for being you. And thank you for loving Rebecca. She needed someone like you. Someone real, someone honorable. You gave her that. You gave me peace knowing she's taken care of. Not because she needs taking care of, but because she deserves a partner, an equal. You are that. Thank you, Jake Morrison. Mechanic, engineer, father, husband, good man. The world needs more of you. Thomas Reed. Jake cried reading it. Rebecca held him. He loved you, like a son, because of who you are. I loved him too. He changed my life, that test, that rainy night, all of it. 30 years after the rainy night, Jake was 72. Rebecca was 69, still together, still thriving. Connor, now 42, ran Morrison Performance, expanded it globally. Automotive innovation leader. 40 years after the rainy night, Jake was 82. Rebecca was 79, still together. At 85, Jake's health declined. Heart failure, age catching up. Rebecca stayed by his side every day, every moment. We had a good run, Jake said, weak but smiling. The best run, 42 years because you stopped in the rain. Because I helped and you saw me, really saw me. The mechanic, the dad, the man. I saw the hero because that's what you are. My hero, Connor's hero, everyone's hero. I'm not a hero, I'm just a guy who stopped. When others didn't, that's all. That's everything. Jake passed at 86, peacefully. Rebecca holding his hand, Connor beside him, family surrounding him. At his funeral, thousands attended. Employees, customers, engineers, friends, lives he touched. Connor ran the global empire. Morrison Performance in 30 countries, employed 10,000 people. Connor spoke. My father taught me everything, engineering, business, integrity. But the biggest lesson? Help people. He saw a stranger in the rain, helped him. That kindness built this empire. Thousands of jobs, billions in innovation, all because he stopped when others didn't. That's his legacy, not the money, not the success, the kindness, the choice to help. Always help. That's what I'll teach my children, what I hope they'll teach theirs. Help. Always help. Rebecca spoke last. Jake Morrison was a mechanic, a brilliant engineer, a loving father, a devoted husband. But most of all, he was kind. He helped my grandfather 42 years ago. That help became love, became family, became everything. I miss him, but I'm grateful for every moment, every year, every memory. Thank you, Jake, for stopping, for helping, for loving, for everything. Jake's gravestone was simple. Jake Morrison, mechanic, engineer, father, husband. He stopped when others didn't. That made all the difference. 50 years after the rainy night, the Morrison Performance headquarters stood tall. Global empire, $10 billion valuation. But the original garage remained, preserved. Morrison Family Museum. Connor's children ran the business now. Fourth generation, still thriving. They gathered there, every year, anniversary of the rainy night, and they told the story to their children, to the next generation. 50 years ago, your great-great-grandfather Jake saw a man in the rain. He stopped. He helped. That choice built all this. Not because he expected reward, but because it was right. That's the lesson. Help people, not for payback, but because it's right. That's the Morrison way. That's how we honor Jake. By helping, always helping. But every Sunday they came back to the garage to remember. And somewhere, somehow, Jake was smiling. Because the lesson lived on. Help people, always help. That's enough. If this story inspired you, subscribe to VML Stories for more tales of honor, integrity, and kindness that changes everything. Hit that like button, drop a comment sharing your thoughts, and share this with someone who needs to remember that one act of kindness can build an empire. Because helping people, not for reward, but because it's right, is the foundation of everything that matters. See you in the next story. Jake told the story, again, to his great-grandchildren, to the new generation. 40 years ago, I saw an old man, in the rain, stuck. Nobody helped. I stopped, fixed his wheelchair, drove him home. That man was Thomas Reed, your great-great-grandfather. He tested me that day, wanted to see who would help. I did. That choice changed everything. What's the lesson, great-grandpa? The lesson is simple. Help people, not because you'll get something back, but because it's right. I didn't know Thomas was rich, didn't know he'd introduce me to Rebecca, didn't know it would lead to all this. I just helped, because he needed help. That's the lesson. Help. Always help. But you got lucky. What if he wasn't rich? What if nothing came from it? Then I'd still have helped, and I'd still sleep well, knowing I did the right thing. That's the reward. Not money, not success. Peace, knowing you're good. That's enough.